Okay, the purpose of this video is to help students remember how to get data from Excel into SPSS, how to label your data properly, and how to save an SPSS file. So right now what we're looking at is a data set in Excel that I've taken a lot of time to build. It does take a little bit of time to get the data set clean and to get it ready for analysis, but here is what I have. I have a case file number in column A. I have the year that the person was released from supervision, which for this sample, everybody in the sample was released in the year 2003. As you can see, I have 803 people in my sample. This sample will be much larger than the samples a lot of the interns have access to. You might have a sample of 60 or 120, maybe 200 people, but in this data set is a little bit larger. It's 803 people all released in 2003. You can see here how I have coded my gender variable, my race variable, whether or not they are currently employed, their current level of education. Here for age, I have not added in additional coding. I've just put their age in years. This is a continuous variable, but I have also taken time to dichotomize this variable into a 0 and 1 coding, where 1 is over the age of 35 and 0 really should be 35 or under, just for the sake of clarity. Here indicates whether they were being supervised for a felony or a misdemeanor, whether or not it was a drug offense. This is the length of sentence they received in months. You can see there's a wide range in sentencing here. This is a continuous variable. And this is a dependent variable, whether or not they were rearrested for a new offense since their release in 2003, and whether or not they were rearrested for a probation violation since 2003. So I've taken a lot of time to get my data neat and clean in Excel, to make sure I have my codings properly understood and marked. And now the question is, how do I get this data into SPSS? So first, you will open SPSS. Here is a blank data set. I will go to File, Open, Data. I need to tell SPSS to look for an Excel file. When it does, my data set appears. I will click Open, and it should open with no problem, because everything in this file was numeric. Everything opens as numbers as it should. So in the variable view, here again, here's the data view, and here's the variable view. You can see SPSS took out my parentheticals for this does not need to be in there, took out the parentheticals for the name of the variable. That's a coding issue in SPSS, nothing to worry about on your end. But it left the parentheticals in for the label. This is the label that will be printed in my tables, so I'm satisfied with this. What I need to do at this time is insert my values. This is how you do that. Here for age, I don't need to add values because this is a continuous variable. If it says 16, that means 16 years old. If it says 72, that means 72 years old. But I will add values for the dichotomized version of age. And on down the line. Now I have all my values here. I have my labels properly labeled. My variable names are fine for the purposes of this project. You can see that my measures are properly identified. All dichotomous variables are labeled as nominal, and the age variable and the length of sentence and months variable are both notated here as scale variables. It's time to save the data set now. I'll go to File, Save. I want to navigate to some place that's easy to find, My Desktop. I'll label this as